All right, chat. I had a video that I wanted to watch. So negativity content in FGC Discord. This is a Theory Fighter video. I saw it and I was like, okay, disconnect. And you know, it's funny that we were saying disconnect in fighting games when I was just saying how disconnected I was from all the hubber there.
Hey YouTube, glad you've been enjoying all the videos I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as like and share the video.
I think.
Chat, 2XKO is good. 2XKO, good game. Not chilling. I've said 2XKO is a good game. 2XKO, good game. Everyone typing no immediately. You see, I knew this was gonna happen. This is the toxicity that the fighting game community just has. You can't even say X game is good or Y game is good because everyone will just hate immediately.
Finding new tech or what is good is fun to me. And having other people do it for me feels kind of like spoilers.
2XKO literally only has 3 modes of play. The gameplay is fine, but as a game it is even for a free-to-play. You know, we were just saying that because like I said, I'm like, who's enjoying the avatar battles, who's enjoying extreme battles, this, that, and the third. But I guess that's kind of the other disconnect because people enjoy that stuff, and then there's the other people, you know, the sweat lord. I saw a Reddit post about 2XKO saying, I don't understand who this game is for, because the Reddit post was something like 2XKO feels like a game for FGC sweats and nerds to just jerk off about how good they are at fighting game, and it leaves the casual just to kind of look inside and be like, man, I want to get that good. And it makes sense. I get it. 2XKO does feel like that kind of game where it's like, yo, you like fighting games? You're good at fighting games? Well, you get to show off how good you are at fighting game.
Apparently everything is terrible.
I'm not saying everything about SF6 is terrible.
Game is dead, patches.
I would never say SF6 is dead. It's the most popular fighting game for some strange reason. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet that, you know, might enjoy eating dogs. But you know, that's not my problem.
Awful, balance is bad, and
I never say SF6's balance is bad, so that's wrong.
Ultimately, it doesn't require much nuance to find yourself getting validated by some guy who just got bopped by Ari.
Yeah, I feel like that's also true. It's easy to point out something bad, but I do think you can point out it's hard too, because like I said, he was saying he could go into all these reasons why it would be good to have motion inputs into XKO, but it's going to be kind of hard to explain to somebody, or you could just be like, yo, this game's already stupid because, you know, already broken or whatever. Yeah, I think motion inputs do make fighting games better. But I think if you go online and make a whole thesis about, oh, this game would be way more healthy if there were motion inputs, and here's why, versus, damn, this game's already broken. The second one's much easier to, you know, behind than the first one.
I hear old games are bad. Is this the old school footsies I've been hearing about?
That's my favorite. To me, that one's always my favorite. It's just the old school footsies you guys, you know, like enjoy so much, and it's just some dude flying around as Vega. If you look online, I mean, the best thing would be, you know, don't go on the internet. Don't try to find people who have the same interests as you, because then people are gonna hate it. You know, Street Fighter 2 Takedo Vega when they talk about the old school footsie.
All the fucking time. New games, oh yeah, they're just dumbed down games for tourists. Do we literally enjoy anything?
Well, you know, the modern narrative is the old games are dumbed down fighting games for toddlers. I don't say tourist. They're for kids. Is there a stark difference between a character being broken and top tiers just being played? I think every game you're gonna have top tiers. You can't dodge that. I think Echo Yasuo is insanely strong. I get what he is saying. Like, Echo Yasuo being strong is probably better than like Teemo or, you know, Blitzcrank being really good. At the same time, 6 kind of handles it a lot better than most fighting games. Hell, even Happy Chaos is obnoxious to deal with. Like, that's how top tiers work in any game. But you would be like, 6 handles it the best, because what? The best character in 6 is probably Mai, and you know, she's doing more or less the same thing. Echo Yasuo has been top since the beginning though. Yeah, the game hasn't even been out for that long. Well, I guess even in the alphas and beta, they were really strong. The game hasn't even been out for that long. Not addressing actual criticism because it's perceived negative is also a problem Tokon gets. Yeah, I think Tokon's a good sense of criticism. Like, Tokon probably has gotten a lot better because of all the criticisms Tokon has gotten. I feel like people are defensive about their game and don't want their game to change at all. But at the same time, your game could just get better as well.
The loss of news aggregators like Shoryuken you're at risk of constant exposure of the opinions
Overhead.
of the worst guy you know, who is literally being paid to piss you off. And before you say it, I understand that this is a world problem. This is not an FGC problem. But
Yeah,
I
that is
expect
kind of a
more
world
from my
problem too.
peers. It's hard to actually experience joy without the overwhelming feeling that you're not clever enough to see how bad it is. Critique should be a good thing.
I've said that plenty of times. You know, I'm guilty of saying that. I've said plenty of time that some people who play SF6 aren't good enough to see how bad it is. I've actually said that plenty of time, but that's a real thing. And then people get scared to realize, you're not good enough to see how bad this game actually is. But I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong there. I 100%, I'm dying on that hill. You know, some people are, you know, just not that good enough to see how bad SF6 is. I mean, that's how everything should work. If you don't like something, you should be able to explain why you don't like it. And it shouldn't be like, there's reasons why you should be able to explain why you don't like something. That's whenever I hear people talk about Strive and it's like, oh, I don't like Strive. I'm like, okay, that's fine. What don't you like about Strive? Oh, I hate Bridget's in the game. When I hear that, it's like, okay, you lost me. That's not a good reason at all, man. What are we doing? I don't like that kind of stuff. Or like, oh, I don't like Ari or something.
A good game with some overtuned characters and some jank is not a death sentence. It's
True.
just an inevitable path of the course.
Yeah, that's how I see most game. When I see a fighting game and I'm thinking this game would be so great if they just like nerf like one or two characters, then I'm like, okay, this game's in the right direction. That's why, like I said, I'm giving Strive his flower. I think Strive could be great. They just gotta like tone down maybe like Happy Chaos and maybe a few other, and I think the game would be fine. With other games, and I'm talking with other games, and it's like, you know, system wide, or you know, this is just how the game works. Then I feel like, okay, this is kind of a problem. Even with 2xKO, I mean, I don't like active tag, and I'm gonna keep saying I don't like active tag. But if they change Echo Ignacio, it's probably less obnoxious than the way the game is now.
Probably just doing it wrong. It's a hobby, one that's meant to bring you joy. When people tell you to go to locals, it's not just because you get to compete offline and improve as a player. It's because you would get the privilege of being surrounded by people who love the same thing as you, and that is infectious. That is what will.
iDomFGC? Wait, what did I say? I don't do any of this stuff. I always tell people to go to local. I'm not throwing. I say SF6 sucks, but I could explain in detail all the things that I think make SF6 bad. I'm not throwing, and I don't even think it's a bad game. I just think the gameplay is ass. That one's the classic too. People will ignore problems and just be like, oh, if you don't like it, play something else. That one's always there. Oh, if you don't like it, then just, you know, play something else. But I swear, I always say this. You know, if people actually did that in the FGC, the FGC would lose like 70 to 80% of its players. I think if you're the person who said, I'm gonna try Street Fighter 6, this game is ass. I'm gonna try Tekken 8, this game is ass. I'm gonna try, you know, Strive, this game is ass. And then you can't even articulate why you don't like those games. I think you're the problem. If you're like, oh, Street Fighter 6 is good, but there's this, and this that I would change because this makes it very unfun, or this makes it kind of seem kind of stupid, that's fine. Oh, I like Tekken 8, but I would change this, and that to make Tekken 8 better. Oh, I like Strive, but you know, Happy Chaos needs his legs cut off. I think that's fine. If you're just like, oh, I don't like 2xKO because Apology Man worked on the game, bro, I can't help you. There's no light there, man.
If you think there is no place for you in the scene, realize that it is big. It spans the world. No matter what you like, you will find a group of people who are similar.
This video seems like a personal attack on iDom. Chat, I don't feel personally attacked by this video at all because I don't do this. The point of that video, in my opinion as well, I do think negativity is not good. I think some people get butthurt between hearing, you know, this game sucks versus, hey, this game might be better if they did this, and that. Or, you know, my classic, you know, this game's cooked, they can't fix it. The amount of negativity that comes from like High Guard died really fast. That game was bad, but Marathon has a lot of negativity surrounding it as well. I feel like a lot of people will be negative about something and don't even play the game. I don't mind negativity or like constructive criticism if it's valid.